All right, we're finally live. Well, yeah, some stuff happened I had to take care of. Some workers came by the house completely unannounced, had no idea they were coming to fix our garage door and work on some weird electrical issues we're having with this place because it's really bizarre. What's up, everybody?
Hey, Gary.
How's it going? Oh, look at everybody here. You're not connected to the Graymaster. All right.
Hi, how you doing?
Heyo. Let me turn up my volume. Okay, that's good.
I like this format. It feels more like we should have like a Chiron beneath us.
There you go. And we'll use that. That's cool. So what's up?
You know, Gary, I was
What's up?
You go ahead, Stargate. You've missed the past couple, man. you hop in.
No, I was just gonna say I was really happy to see Razorfist on the.
Oh, I think we're losing him.
Oh no, he died.
Frozen.
Yeah, you were frozen.
I'll pick up the lamp. I loved Razorfist, and I really love that he was there the entire time. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. And he was great, and we'll have him back. That's a guy I've kind of really looked up to as far as YouTubing goes. I think, you know, like his rants are off the cuff. You know that, right? Like he doesn't write that shit. He just goes. I don't know how you do that. And I was doing his little background. You know, I was doing research, and you know, he went to the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. And he's worked in radio before, and yeah, he's freaking good, man. So that was great. That was kind of, I was a little intimidated, man. I don't get intimidated much, but I was like, ooh, dude.
Well, you didn't show it. You were a very brave boy, Gary.
Hey.
That was a good show. He blended right into the chemistry of the panel perfectly. There was nobody talking. It was like he'd been there the whole time. It was great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it helps.
I think my internet connection's good now.
That's good. That's good. It's all good. It was fun. It was so much fun, and yeah, I couldn't believe he stayed the whole time. I told him he didn't have to, but he was happy to do it. So,
yeah, it was good. He was good with you guys. So how's law school treating you there, Stargate?
Oh, it's tough. we're on week 3 now. I'm at one of the few places that is doing in-person instruction still, but the university is very cautious. So anytime they get spooked, we go online for like a week. And yeah, so it's quite the task. But you know, on the Friday Night Tights, it was I was so glad to see you guys were watching Yuri Bezmenov. Even though it was through the Call of Duty trailer, because I don't know if you remember, Gary, but I sent in like 3 or 4 super chats on the Inquisition telling you and Doomcock to check it out. And then so when Lady Gravemaster put up was like, oh, let's watch the Call of Duty trailer. I was like, yes, finally.
I remember those super chats. Mm-hmm. I remember seeing those, man.
But I've seen Yuri, like, dude, he was brought up on Art Bell like all the time. All the time. Really? And then, you know, God, all the talk radio guys back in the 90s were bringing him up too. So, you know, sometimes it's hard to make the connection from the name to the face, but I've heard that audio a gazillion times. And it's, well, you know, there was a time where even the people on the right were thinking it might have been a bit much. But then, of course, when the USSR opened up, and what we see right now in front of us is pretty clear. Yet there's still people who are denying it to this day. So I think it's all a bunch of big old conspiracy, and I can't wait to talk about it on the Exos.
Oh, when's the Exos coming, Gary? Come on!
When this office is done, when I can be in a studio and you know, because I'm still kind of, you know, half setting things up. I'm not really comfortable with my setup yet, but it's the specter hanging over me that I just want to get done. So I got a bunch of it done yesterday. So that's good.
Did you get the swap out for the panels done yet?
Yeah, I just ran out of panels. Now I got to get more panels, but it'll be done in like a week. Some action figures have already started going up. But you know what, Doomcock and I was talking about it on Yellow Flash's live stream last night. what we have discussed is like a podcast, probably. I mean, we'll do, something once a week on YouTube, but we kind of want to do it more, and it has to be like when we have time. And sometimes that's the middle of the night, sometimes it's early in the morning, and we can just, knock out a couple hours of just he and I talking. And then, hopefully the only thing that the problem with it is YouTube shadow banning it.
So is it you going to do it like some kind of subscription podcast or pay by the drink, or what's
free. Yeah, you like go to Spotify or my website or something Doomcock and I can both agree on where it goes. And,
does anybody pay money for podcasts? Like, there's a Cubs one that keeps getting advertised to me, and I'm like, I am not paying money to listen to a podcast.
No. Wow. I mean, if somebody wants to sponsor us on it, sure, no problem.
Sure, yeah.
I totally paid for the back issues of Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, so no regrets there. It's an amazing podcast.
Yeah, there's certain stuff. I pay for certain stuff. So
you got to make your cheddar, Gary. You guys are putting work into it. We enjoy the content. I mean, I was more asking how much, not so much were you going to charge.
Oh shit! No, I don't. Thanks. That's awesome, and I know you guys love the show. And trust me, if I had a choice between like pop culture and Exozone, I would take Exozone. That's what I want to do. Like into my retirement is talk.
It's so much more fun.
Yeah, it is. The culture war needs to be fought, and I'm completely into it, but I don't want to do it forever. Hopefully we win or walk away at some point. And that's got to be, that conversation has to be had. So.
I just saw your video, Exodus, and hearing about how your wife down and how that was going so well, and then thinking about the shoplifting. Yeah, this is all, but the politics affects that, and I just I'm almost sad that this big exodus is happening right now, because if like the census is happening this year and they already got their responses, like I think in February. So I just wish they just waited like 6 months to get the census results, because I can't imagine how many votes would have been lost from California. I just want to see the numbers of how many people left. I'm sure it was, maybe I'm overestimating here, but I'm sure it was at least 1 million people.
Oh,
I can't think like
New York too,
small
Stargate. New York City has got the same thing going on, identical.
Yep.
Yeah, I think there was a mass exodus from California before, right? So before all the coup, there was 500,000 people leaving the state yearly for like 3 or 4 years in a row. So it has to be 1 million, easy, right now.
Like 6 months ago, I interviewed for a job in Oregon, like Bumblefuck, Oregon, and they were all asking me like, "So you're from the East Coast? You're not? Oh, dude, seriously, like out in the woods, like, so you're not like a Californian, right?" And I was like, "Pretty sure the opposite. Like I don't get jokes. I'm very serious. I'm intense. Like, oh yeah, that's great. We have some East Coasters here, and but yeah, they were afraid of Californians."
Well, Bumblefuck Oregon's really red. Like, Bumblefuck Oregon is the not crazy part. They're of my people.
Well, they want to break lane in Idaho.
This was what county was it? So I was in Grants Pass for a while, and it's very nice, but like I'm from the cities, and it's just not. It is quieter than quiet, and I loved it, but yeah, they had a lot of questions about California. They even asked me if I visited. I was like, no.
It means they're consciously aware of what's going on. I'd rather have those questions than just to get the like, everything's fine, not gonna worry about anything. Like, sure, yeah, ask away.
Yeah, and these were a bunch of people. This was a law enforcement job. I would be working like the data thing, and they were real nice, but they weren't going to pay well. So I was like, never mind.
Yeah,
could you have had a higher standard of living?
What do you say?
You know how like it's cheaper. I can afford to have a house. Like I can pay a mortgage right here, and I'm not in Chicago. I'm outside of Chicago, but I cannot afford to own property in Chicago with my income. So would it have been one of those situations?
It would have been no. I mean, it would have been worse. I would have been renting out of something that hasn't been touched in 50 years. Like, there are no living up, like nowhere to live. At least in Denver, I can complain about my apartment having like too many noises. It's like, oh no, my great apartment with the view of the whole everything. Like, I'm doing all right now, but I can't live like forever here. I have to move to like Aurora to get a house, which is what I'm for. But culturally, yeah, like everyone's afraid of the California people. And
dude, I'd pop up to Frederick or Firestone, Mr. Freeze. Fuck Aurora.
Where, Frederick?
Yeah, Frederick.
So I live in Aurora, Illinois, and I know Aurora, Colorado is the more known Aurora.
Well, they're both
Aurora.
They're both
like,
the armpits.
Kind of.
They're both the armpits of their states. You know, it's.
Excuse you, we're not showing yet.
Colorado.
I was born in Aurora, Ginger. I can speak to it.
I was born in Englewood, New Jersey, and everyone here thinks when I say Englewood, they're like, "Oh, like you're from Denver." I'm like, "No, I'm from the real Englewood." Like, what? Like, I don't understand. Like, never mind. It was here before Colorado. Fuck off. Everyone here is so serious.
See, when I hear Inglewood, I think LA.
Also, way before that. I mean, there are people there, but not us.
Jagerbomb, as far as big cities go in California, San Diego is the most sane. It's not sane because we're talking about cities in California, but as far as the outskirts go, it's pretty. You couldn't differentiate Escondido from a town in Arizona or Texas. It's the same. It's strip malls. You got your Targets. Yeah, you got suburbs. Just people going to work. Pretty blue collar. That's where I'm most comfortable. I don't know. I don't like the rich hoity-toity places at all.
No, I want suburbia.
Yeah.
Do they still have Rubio's in San Diego?
They do. That's a good question, Bird of Prey, because that's where it was founded. And Rubio's is famous because of their sticker, "I love fish tacos."
Yes.
So yes, and they started out as Rubio's Fish Tacos, and it was great. They're still good. Yeah, the main one is still in PB, Pacific Beach, right at. Oh God, I've been away for too long. I forgot the names of the streets in PB. Ooh, I've been away for too long.
I missed them.
Garnett and Jesus is bad. 18 years I was gone, so I can still. I don't need GPS to get around it. That's nice.
I was very proud of myself. I don't know if you follow, but Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 came out this week or last week.
Mm-hmm.
The first new Microsoft Flight Simulator in 15 years. And it is amazing quality. It uses the Bing maps, so basically satellite maps zoomed in, just as good as Google Maps, to render everything. So I haven't been to San Diego in like literally 15 years, but I managed to find my way right to where I was going, just following the highway and the streets, like I hadn't been. I'm at 90% away. I'm at it from.
Have you tried flying over Area 51 yet?
I tried to find Area 51. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find. One of my friends says they did it. They found it, but
I don't think it's a map though. I think they smudge it out.
Yeah, but there's something there. They've got a runway there you can take off.
Yeah, it can help you find.
It's not going to be the real Area 51.
I thought I heard you said it was a really good simulator.
It is an amazing flight simulator.
And if you had the Game Pass, you can get it for free.
That's how I'm doing it. Yeah.
There you go.
It was $1 for the first month and $5 thereon. I mean, otherwise you got to buy it. The minimum is $60, and they have a $90 and $120 version with more planes. I'm just trying it for the first couple months on the Game Pass. If I really still liking it, I'll buy it. But I probably will.
That's right. Thank you, Grand and Garnett. I was like, God dang it! I know it's G&G. That's awesome.
I made it from the airport to Rancho Santa Fe Golf Course.
Oh, nice!
Just following the ways. Then I got lost in Rancho Santa Fe, but it was okay. I was looking for the Hale Bop house.
The Hale Bop house. The one I missed the traffic in. Oh my God!
Yeah.
I told you guys this story, right? Like I was parts delivering in San Diego in the 90s, and I had to take a shortcut through Rancho Santa Fe to get back because I was super late because I had stopped at a couple of Toys R Us's to pick up a bunch of action figures during my run. So I'm like,
Gary?
shit.
No.
I know. Terrible. As a matter of fact, some of them are right behind me right now, my Fantastic Four one. So I'm like, shit, I got to get back to, because I was working for World Pack, and there was traffic in the middle of this rural residential area. I'm like, and we were stuck, and the cop comes up and goes, yeah, you're going to be here for like 4 hours. I'm like, what? I'm like, what happened? And he's all, a bunch of people killed themselves. I'm like, what? And it was Applewhite. And I'd heard of Reverend Applewhite because they brought him up on Art Bell before. I'm like, you are kidding me. Oh my God. And it was all for Hail Bob, which was an awesome comment, by the way.
Reverend.
My boss
Yeah.
lived in Rancho Santa Fe, and right across the valley, he could hit a perfect view of their house. And I remember like his wife would tell stories the morning it happened, because it's a quiet town for rich people, like the richest of the rich.
Yep.
And all of a sudden they woke up one morning, there's helicopters flying over the house, like they thought they were being invaded or something. And finally all just ended up circling this house that he had a perfect view of, and they realized what happened. But I mean, they came in like with an army.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a part of town where like a bunch of Hollywood producers lived. Magic Johnson lived there for a little while. He might still have a house there. Yeah, it's a nice place. Not the kind of place you have a bunch of people killing themselves because and self-castrating. Ew. Ouch.
Hey, Bird.
Ow.
I think I would like you to do a every frame of pause for the In the Pale Moonlight. Would you do that?
Every frame of pause for It's in the Pale Moonlight.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd
I
do
want
it
to
with
do In
you.
the Pale Moonlight at some point. I'll seriously think about it.
Thank
I
you.
mean,
It is
yeah,
so good.
it is. It's definitely. It's honestly. I know a lot of people say it's their favorite DS9, but it's my second favorite DS9.
What's your favorite?
I got to give Trials and Tribulations. They just they made an excellent TOS episode even better, and it's very hard to do that. In fact, nobody's done it before or since.
No.
I give that credit with making TOS accessible to me, because when I first started watching, I couldn't really get it. You know, I was so young, but I grew up with DS9. When they did that episode, I sort of got that it was like not as like it wasn't as serious a space drama as it looked when it's like woo music and everything's like really like, you know, like you're like, oh, this is far out. Like, no, it's still actors in the 60s having fun. And they looked like they had so much fun that it turned my page on the original series.
Nice.
Oh, that's good.
Hey, I got some good news possibly for you guys. If you're into it, Yellow Flash, I guess this has been around, so you guys probably knew it was around. I didn't. So I'm a Prime member, and you can do watch parties on Prime on Twitch. You can link your Twitch account, and we can watch The Expanse, the original series, DS9, Star Trek movies, Nightbreed, freaking Time Bandits. There's a bunch of movies we can do watch parties for.
Do you have to have a Twitch account?
Cool.
Yeah, if you have if you are a Prime member, you don't have a Twitch account, just get a Twitch account, and you can link your Twitch channel with your Prime account, and anything that's on Prime you can show. You have to link. You can't put it on your OBS. You have to link it through the dashboard or whatever on Twitch, and you can do a watch party.
I've seen that feature. I was wondering how that
Where are you
works.
getting that?
It's great.
Yeah, well, Amazon owns Twitch, so they make it easy.
Yep.
Oh, that makes sense.
Unfortunately, the BritBox doesn't count, or we can watch
What?
classic Doctor Who
Boo.
episodes. There's a way we can watch classic Doctor Who episodes, but you'd have to keep a secret, because I have a website that I can put
Oh,
whatever the hell I
wait.
want on, and I can create a secret URL that we can just share amongst ourselves and watch whatever the hell we want, whenever we want.
Gary, if you're ever interested, I basically do DS9, whatever watch parties, movies, with a not so secret URL that works just fine. You just need some web space. But if you ever need to know how to do it, I actually did a video on how to do it, but I could show you. It's not
I could
difficult.
watch the video, give it a click. Be happy to do it.
I was going to say, I picked up Enemy of the World for 50% off at Barnes & Noble the other day.
Whoa, that's good.
Haven't seen it yet.
Oh, one of the best. Yeah. So, that the pop culture commentary will return after that video. I've been working on it for 3 days on and off, going back and forth, taking recutting the whole thing. I've done 3 full versions of it that I shit canned. And then I showed it to every member of Friday Night Tights, showed it to Jeremy. I'm like, I don't know if I should put this out on my channel. It's like, fuck. But, Jeremy said, you've been talking about it on live streams for like 2 months now. So it's okay. So I did it. Fuck it. And it's done. But it's not going to be a habit on the channel. So don't worry.
Looks like you're crushing it too on it, Gary.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks,
you're
man.
all. It's doing really well.
1,000
And,
views in 5 minutes.
I'm not looking at my sub count right now. I'm just not.
And here's the thing, Gary, is that, like when you showed in the video that Twitter thread where the person was like, oh, people leave cities all the time. It's not really as bad as they say. I mean, as a Californian who has now left California, I hear that shit all the time, and it annoys me as much as it annoys you. It's like, stop lying. We all know it's bad. Like, you stop covering for it.
Just that the Zillow stuff when they were like saying that inventory is up 100% over last year, like that's crazy. Like how can you just brush that off? Like that is insane.
It's nuts. Melissa's up there right now getting, cleaning out. Okay. So like she's doing great, but then I'll get a phone call and she's crying, right? Because she's clearing out the stuff from her salon and putting it in our garage. And that's she's not ashamed of it. She's fucking sad. Sorry, father, but I'm angry. So that stuff really makes me angry because that was her dream job.
Right.
She worked her entire life for it, and it's gone for no reason at all. And I couldn't even get into. I flashed the numbers up, but I could have showed you the COVID numbers for San Francisco, which have been like nothing. Sorry, people died, but And this is another thing I took out of the video. I'll bring it up in a live stream. As a matter of fact, I'll put it on Friday Night Tights this week. There's a street corner in San Francisco where more people have died from overdosing on freaking opioids and heroin than have died of COVID in the same year.
It's gotten so out of the news, and it's not fair. So many people are sick.
You know there's an agenda when 39 kids are rescued from a double wide trailer in Georgia, and it's barely
no one heard anything.
Nobody heard anything. It barely got
Nobody
covered on local news in Georgia.
Yeah, I had to Google that this morning.
That wasn't the only one. There was another one where they saved about 25 kids.
Yeah.
Where were they going? What
It's a child trafficking. It was a child trafficking ring, and they broke up. They found 39 kids in Georgia. They found 27 kids in Mississippi, and they found like 105 in Missouri. And they were all part of the same child traffic. They were all part of the same child trafficking ring, and like 15% of them were meant for sex trafficking. And nobody's heard anything.
U.S. Marshals have been busy.
And yes, the fact
why can't we have protesters against this shit? Why can't people line up in the streets and stop the trucks? Like fucking
it's called Project Never. It's called Project Never Forgotten. And it came into all this came into play because of that $450 million that Trump allocated to fight child trafficking. Like this is part of what that went to. That the Dems were so upset that he violated power of the purse by signing an executive order for it.
Well, as we're learning, a lot of powerful people are also powerful pedos, so I can guarantee that's why they don't like it. Yep.
Well, and they, I think the Mississippi kids, the Mississippi kids, I believe, were found in a U-Haul truck.
Oh, gee.
So all this Exodus stuff, that's my other fear about. So this giant Exodus from California and everything, how many of those vehicles are stuffed with people, with kids?
No. What was the racial mix, Lady Gravemaster? What was the racial mix of these kids?
Well, I think
From
you
my-
don't show the kid.
From my understanding, a lot of them, it was the oldest was only 14, but they had someone as young as 4 months old.
But do we know like if these are black kids, Mexican kids, Asian kids,
didn't-
white
I
kids?
haven't seen
'Cause
any
I have a
demographics
feeling
like that.
it's not a lot of white kids, and it's a lot of black kids or Mexican kids or
Mhm.
Hispanic kids. I'm sorry to get racial.
Looking at the
but
last names and first names of the people arrested, you could tell it was a very diverse
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
set. It doesn't fit the narrative. It wasn't all white people.
No, I didn't think it would be any at all, to be honest with you, or very few, because they would notice them missing. But there's a lot of other kids that they won't notice missing, especially if it's from an undocumented worker or something like that. And that's the shit we got to watch out for too. You know.
Yep.
Again, don't mean
Well-
to get racial or anything, but this is the stuff
No.
I've heard for a long, long time. And there are entire families who live like I'm in San Diego, right? So there's camps everywhere here where people live, and that's where the undocumented workers live. That's been part of my life since I've grown up here. It's part of San Diego culture. It's a thing, and it's it is what it is. There's a way to solve the problem. If there's a way to solve the problem, I don't know what it is, but yeah, it would be really easy to pluck some of their kids, and they can't say, or if they said something, it would fall on deaf ears. And
Mhm.
yeah, that's crazy shit.
Maybe you should bring Lord Thoth on in the chat. He says he works for, or she works for child exploitation and human trafficking as an officer. Maybe they could speak to some of that stuff.
Yeah, he's saying races are mixed. He's
Yeah, I
popped in the
figured
chat
they
here,
would.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to be a
Stargate
lot
is Lord.
easier. You can't take Dakota from Marin County, okay? Like that's gonna pop up. But if you take a little Enrique, nobody's gonna notice. Nobody's gonna notice at all. And,
Well, what is it? A child goes missing every 40 seconds.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, Latino. That Slant, I would not doubt that at all. He's wondering if there's a connection with any of the detention facilities. Wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, what you said, Ginger. Yeah, what you said, Ginger, about the sort of the upper echelon people who are involved in this, I have no doubt. Gary, when you read that quote from, I believe it was Mel Gibson, about how the people in Hollywood buck every taboo and everything like that, and you said that in tech it's worse, in Silicon Valley it's worse. I completely believe. I've heard stories about the most outrageous things. Like there are people who, again, rumor must be, it's like the Midnight's Edge must be taken as rumor, but I've heard stories about like people paying for blood for like young people, my age, who are sort of fit, healthy, paying them to donate blood, and then they'll like transfuse their blood because they believe it has rejuvenating effects or
I've
something.
heard, yeah,
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that too.
Yeah, it's adrenalized blood.
Yeah.
I've seen it on The Simpsons, so it must be true.
Yes,
Hey, the
exactly.
Simpsons have been right about a lot lately.
Mhm.
One of the out there
I take
channels. that I watch-
any myth about blood with more than a grain of salt if I were you.
Yeah.
I would. Did you watch Crowder a couple of weeks ago though, where they talked about the worship of the Saturn-based deities and sacrifice throughout history, where they talked about different cultures who worship and Crowder's skeptical, and he had the little guy with I forgot his name, but the guy.
Oh,
with
that's I think that's Smooth Man. That must be super recent. I think he
Yeah,
was like
that
on
was
so
in
you're
the
like a
last
couple weeks ago, and I'm thinking of my Crowder back catalog.
He was trying to he was putting together that all these different cultures worship these Saturn-based demigods or whatever, and it led to sacrifice, and that's what the whole Moloch thing is. It's a mock sacrifice, and he was just showing the history behind that. So
It's a very blown up history. There is a lot of sacrifice and blood ritual throughout history, but the ongoing tradition of blood rites is something I am very skeptical of, and I think you should be too, because that's some ongoing bullshit that gets thrown around a lot.
yeah,
Until
it's true. We don't know. I mean, I'm skeptical too. I don't think they're actually drinking or bathing in the blood of children. But
None of that stuff.
and I mean, and that's the thing. It's like you're not even going to find one case of that happening. And if you do, it's not somebody parabolic. It's somebody who's really, really sick. You know, that's all it is. It's somebody who's got a lot of problems.
There's the outlier.
Who's committed crimes. So it's like, let's stick to the better exosome stuff and not like the stuff about people who drink other children's blood. That's a bit far out.
I cover everything. We'll talk about everything. I don't believe everything.
But there's danger to spreading certain things. Like, for instance, you had a bit of a Ron Burgundy moment.
I'm not saying anything's a fact, but there is video of mock child sacrifices to Moloch in Bohemian Grove. So there is that.
Yeah. But I mean, there's still the chance of saying stuff that you don't mean to say and spread. For instance, in your what is it? Super Chat Square Up 2 out of 3. You had somebody in the Super Chat who wanted to praise Lenny Riefenstahl's work on what was it, Triumph of the Will, and like you're going to read it because it's a Super Chat, but you're also sort of Ron Burgundying the fact that that's Hitler's literal movie maker. She made all of Hitler's movies and was an unrecounted Nazi sympathizer until basically the last year of her life. And so like sometimes we've got to not read the teleprompter for a moment and think, but it ain't your fault. You're not trying to say Lenny Riefenstahl is a good director.
No, I was reading the Super Chat.
Exactly. And that's the thing. It's like somebody else isn't going to know who Lenny Riefenstahl is. Most
people won't.
Nobody does. Yeah. Unless your life was, changed by the Second World War or your family's, like, you just don't care about that shit. But like, that's when we say like, talking about like drinking people's blood, like, yeah, I'm sure they're assholes, but do people do that writ large today? We have much more real problems than that. Like the child ring is much more real than the blood thing.
Ace, Mr. Freeze, we were just discussing the adrenochrome conspiracy that's out there. That's it. I'm not saying I believe it, but there is a conspiracy that is on YouTube.
Oh, there are always conspiracies.
All the time. And this is the QAnon folks who talk about the adrenochrome, which is taken from the blood of children.
Yeah, and it's a QAnon person who went into a synagogue and shot people up.
Yeah.
And so like I'm saying, like, do you want to, like, you do have the right to say, like, I don't want to swim in every pool of fun conspiracies because some of them are just dirty.
Some get really weird.
Isn't that just a Hitler drank water too type of argument, though? I don't see what the point is.
No, it's not. No, it's not. There are certain things like, blood myth, which are very weighted, and they have a history of that should be at least known before you swim in them. Everybody drinks water. Hitler was a vegetarian. Doesn't matter.
Oh, sorry.
Well, the one that I keep hearing out here.
No, it's right here. I want to make some food up. Did you stop at Mom's to get? Okay, cool.
Tom, your mic is live.
All right.
You're hot. You're hot, Tom.
You're hot, Tom.
Dinner, bud. Okay. I was going to say the thing that I keep hearing out here for conspiracy is Bill Gates is going to put like a tracker in the vaccine or chip out and everything.
I don't believe in that stuff.
You've already got one right here.
Exactly.
It's like at least one is a direct conspiracy, Like at least there's one where we're saying this person's doing this specific thing, and it's like, okay, you can.
But the point I was trying to make with the Crowder thing was the only thing they were pointing out. It wasn't the sacrifice aspect. It was isn't it interesting that cultures throughout time have worshipped a Saturn-based entity, which is more of the lines of the ancient civilizations maybe having contact with each other, or there being maybe a mother civilization or something that they have based their belief system on and distorted it throughout time or whatever.
That's my audio book of America Before by Graham Hancock this morning, Gary, since you bring it up.
Gary, one conspiracy theory I think I might dip into is I was just on Facebook and someone mentioned that Stanley Kubrick, he was assassinated. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I looked it up, and I guess he made this movie in 1999 called Eyes Wide Shut, which in the movie, I guess there's a cult sort of depiction or whatever.
It's a very good scene.
Yeah, and in the movie, I guess the character is given like a note or something that says that, oh, like, be quiet, don't keep digging, or else you'll be sorry. And I guess like 3 days after he had completed the movie and had just sent it to the like actors to screen it, he dies of a heart attack. 3 days later, and I'm just like, okay. I'm not usually someone who is very, conspiratorial, but it seems a little convenient he waited till like near the end of his life to make this movie, and then all of a sudden, 3 days after previewing it, he doesn't even get to see it in theaters. He just
was it like the Church of Scientology for making their favorite son portray their evil deeds?
No, hey, things sound crazy until they're not. That's the one that listed Epstein. When that stuff started out, which was years ago, people thought it was crazy. I thought it was crazy. I thought it was ridiculous. People were
Family Guy
associating him with extremely famous people, including a president. I didn't believe it at first, but I listened to it because it was something that they were talking about on all the weirdness. And listen, I know every time we bring up Exozone, and this is the stuff that Doomcock and I have to fight every freaking day. Somebody starts bringing up, I don't even want to say it here, a certain religious people. Our good friend Svi is a rabbi in this religion, and they start bringing up that anti-crap, and we got to fight that all the time. It pops up in my comments all the time.
Yeah, it does pop up in your chat a lot. It's quite noticeable.
Yeah.
Midnight's Edge premiere yesterday had somebody going nuts on that.
Yeah, and we got to fight that crap all the time, and there's not much we can do about it. You just get the mods to get on it. YouTube usually catches it, as far as the comments in the video, it'll be caught by YouTube within an hour.
Hey guys, sorry, let me cut you off. I want to jump out so someone else can jump in. I'll talk to you guys later.
Take it easy, Tom.
Okay, Tom.
Yeah, Tom.
Good seeing you, Tom.
Yeah.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah, there's nobody waiting to get in, so you can hang out if you want. It's all good.
Nah, I got stuff I got to do. So,
all right.
If anyone wants to hop in, hop in. All right, I'll see you,
Tom.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, it's the reality of it. It sucks. It absolutely sucks, but that's part of the gig. You just don't give it any power, any weight, because it's utterly ridiculous. And my belief has always been there is an elite class out there of rich people from all walks of life with lots of money who want to control everything because because they're bored, because they think they can, because they have a lot of money. And a lot of what's with Epstein and stuff isn't more. I don't think it's a vast conspiracy what they're doing, but it's jaded people. It's really rich, bored people who've had every one of their needs met for all of their lives, and they just nothing gives them kicks anymore. So it gets darker and darker. And
his case was so weird because people didn't really even know where his money came from. Like on Wall Street, it was the same. Like he wasn't actually investing or trading.
Oh, he was investing.
No, like he has no counterparties, but not in.
He was investing in video cameras.
You're right.
And Benjamin.
Investing.
He
just wasn't investing in stocks.
Right. So like everybody on Wall Street knew he wasn't in Wall Street, and like all those open secrets, they hate it when like they're open secrets. Like Hollywood is full of open secrets, and it just destroys people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why can't we just say like, hey, Bernie Madoff's not actually making any deals. Jeffrey Epstein's not actually making any deals. Harvey Weinstein is a terrible predator. Like, so
why can't we say those things? Do you not see how because people have power. If you have power, can create consequences.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I don't understand why the people who also have power don't do that. Because it's always shocked me that there isn't at least one person in the room. Sort of like the Bible story of God going to burn down the city. Like maybe if there are at least 10 good power. Men.
I mean, Mr. Freeze, you don't get into power if you don't have some skeletons of some sort in your closet, period. Anybody sitting in one of those chairs in Washington, any of them, I don't care if they're a cabinet member, I don't care if they're a rep, I don't care if they're a senator, I don't care who the hell they are. Every single one of them has got certain skeletons in their closet that they cannot afford to get out, period. I've campaigned for, I've shook hands with, I've been a part of the teams of politicians, and every goddamn one of them has something that they can't afford to get out, because at the end of the day, they're making shitloads of money off of that position.
Yeah, that's why Trump wins.
Every goddamn one of them
He's got no shame, so he's going to win every time.
It's
That's
just
the thing,
like,
sometimes you got to be brave.
It was just like that case with that guy who, with the pool boy. I can't forget. I'm forgetting his name, but
Farwell.
Yeah, he run
Farwell.
Liberty University and was really up there. And then the story comes out that he got this pool boy to start sleeping with his wife, and just completely destroyed their lives.
Here's what I wonder: who did he actually cross that story got out? I mean, for real.
The pool boys,
right?
That's what keeps the other powerful people quiet. To answer your question, is all the dirt other people have. I mean, we were joking about it last night on Yellow Flash's live stream. Why Jar Jar is so powerful? Well, he babysat Spielberg's kids. He probably knows a lot of stuff. So of course he was anointed. I'm joking, but maybe not. You never know.
You don't get a seat at the table unless someone more powerful than you has the dirt to crush you.
Yep.
Then they let you on. If they don't have dirt on you, they fear you. You're not allowed in their circle. You never get to run for office.
I guess I'm more used to New Jersey, where it's more like everybody buy into their own little bit of power, and it's just constantly trying to keep buying to get more. So it's just pay to play constantly. So everybody's got what they need as long as they can pay for it, which they can't. But you don't feel disenfranchised. You just shit, I just need more money.
I think that
there's a reason why all these politicians jump in and they're making $100 and something $1,000 a year salary, and then when they get out of office, all of a sudden they're multi-millionaires. It's because they get on these committees and all this, and people are just funneling them money, and next thing you know, they're worth $50-100 million, and you're like, wait a minute, this person didn't even make $1 million in their entire career as a politician. How did this happen? I mean,
they do the book deal. People. Yeah, they do the book deal. They do all this other stuff. But I think a big problem as to why so many of these people are the way that they are is because you get these rich and powerful people who have everything handed to them, on a silver platter once they reach power and influence, right? Everyone's trying to kiss their ass. Everyone is, bending to their, you walk in with a cool $1 million. You can buy whatever art you want. You can buy multi-million-dollar houses. At a certain point, these people get bored, and what do people do? They're looking and searching for meaning, and some people find it in charitable causes or their faith, and other people find it, unfortunately, in going to more and more extreme forms of self. I don't know how to say it, but pleasing themselves, and it's the ante just gets higher and higher and higher until that quote from Mel Gibson, they basically crossed every taboo. They've explored every corner. They've gone so far off into what normal people would consider acceptable that, and they're all friends and buddy with each other, but they also all hate each other. It's this really weird dynamic.
Yeah. Boy, they go golfing together 1 year later.
Yep.
After they go on TV, you think, oh, they're all enemies, but then you're like, oh, they're golfing together, and no one bats an eye over this shit.
No. And going back to
when you're Jeff Bezos, what do you really do for fun anymore?
Yep. Exactly.
For real, right? I mean, if you're Elon Musk,
you don't get married again, or you'll make another billionaire.
So the bus full of kids that I didn't hear about until just now, and then there was another bus. This should be the biggest news story in the country.
Yeah, right. Doesn't suit the narrative.
But why isn't it? Well, we know
because we have mostly peaceful protests going on.
So
we've all seen that CNN screen cap, right?
Oh, speaking of,
the country has,
the country
collectively does have this just attention span that can only pay attention to one thing, but I don't believe that. So we all know the reason why we didn't hear about this yet. It's this open secret. So it's very
the media sucks
for people
and they're
to
politicized.
Crazier shit because they're seeing the obvious happen right before their eyes. And people aren't that dumb. We've just accepted it. And some people just don't want to, they want to live about their life. They don't want to be bothered with anything. They're going to stick their heads in the sand. And because this is a dark subject, and if it does creep up into our power structure, it could bring down everything. And that's the argument probably behind it. That's how they probably rationalize it in the news, in the mainstream media, in the power brokers going, yeah, this sucks. Now, I don't agree with this, but it will bring down our, but I don't think it would personally. I think it would just be a big news story and we lose a few people because I don't think it's everybody in government, obviously.
Let's hope not. We might be too generous there.
Most people in government are just trying to do a job because they think it's easier to work there than somewhere else. That's all. That's most of government. But the people who are running for office and the people who work on the more political side of things are not usually that's way too generous, are not focused on the daily needs of the constituents back at home.
No, not a one of them.
Why when I saw Rand
Tesla
Paul
stock is due to split next month, by the way.
Yes. Wait, didn't that just? Oh no, was that Apple that just happened? Yeah,
Apple
Yes,
just
now has
happened.
4
but
shares of
Tesla
Apple.
stock is gonna
Now, on the
split
plus
next
side,
those 4 shares will eventually just keep reinvesting that shit. Will eventually become 5, and then 6, and then 12.
now, the plus
how life
side,
is built.
we do know what somebody who's as rich as Elon does, though, right? We don't know what the hell Jeff
Love him.
Bezos is doing. But Elon, when he gets bored, he decides to do things like make spaceships, sell flamethrowers,
build
That would
jobs,
be awesome.
send cars into orbit.
Live the dream.
get in trouble for getting high.
Yeah.
I really
Get rid
think
of all of his
Elon
possessions.
Musk
He's
just
so
wants he just wants like a Back to the Future 2 reality. I think is what he's shooting for.
paint a lady on the side of his spaceship, things like that.
Yeah, a pinup of what is it, Padme, that will be censored by Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
That's who we need to buy some of the goddamn properties is Elon. He's got more money than he knows what the hell to do with.
Yeah.
I tried.
Well,
to
Gary, you already pitched him The Expanse. How did he take that one?
He didn't. He didn't care about that stuff. He's not. I don't know if he's that into pop culture. He's into music, but he's into Grimes, obviously. So
I just think, if you look at like J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk, those people are like, they get attacked on Twitter now by the same people who like worshipped their stuff and like everything, and they're going to be perfectly fine because you want to talk about more money, you know what to do with. J.K. Rowling is going to be fine. Her great grandkids are going to be just fine.
They're going to be trying to figure out how to avoid woke VR deals for their Harry Potter VR movies. That's going to be their concerns, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Oh, I was on a channel and watching one of their videos, and they apologized for J.K. Rowling and said, no, we don't support her views on trans rights and all this other stuff. And I was just like, seriously? Wow. Okay.
See, that's such a lie. For one, she's never said anything about trans rights. She's just said a woman's a biological woman, essentially. That's her big, horrific statement.
Yeah, she made some sense.
Oh
my word!
What's with common sense?
Wait a minute. She believes that your genes have something to do with what your sex is? What?
And not even with foreign Jeremy.
My parents dictate my sex.
Misogyny alert. Misogyny alert.
I couldn't believe it, though. It was amazing.
Yeah, but it's just, I think, because all of these other people because you look at what happened to, and I'm not saying that any of these people are angels by any means, but you just look at some people who have spoken out about it, like the Coreys and Mel Gibson, and Britney Spears tried to in like the 90s and early 2000s, and she went absolutely nuts. It's just, it seems like anytime anyone who isn't either completely independent of these people, or is wealthy enough through whatever, like J.K. Rowling, where they ended up getting wealthy enough. It's like if you're not one of those two, you get crushed.
Yeah,
she had to give back a award that the RFK family gave her.
Yeah,
and I mean RFK Catholic.
Yeah,
should uphold what she's saying.
You'd think. I mean,
well, but it's Candy.
The only ones who have spoken out. I mean, to your point, you've named most of them. You got your Corey Feldmans, you got your Macaulay Culkins, you got the Britneys. I mean, whoever have you. Every single one of them who spoke out about the abuse, particularly of the children in Hollywood and the child actors.
Yep.
Just look at every single one of those people that spoke out. They are all fucked up beyond belief. They are drugged out. They are strung out.
Blacklisted.
And
Britney Spears has kind of turned her life around, but you don't hear from her anymore. She's not famous.
She's
control her.
Yeah,
the one that huge Vegas show. Britney is big.
Okay, one person at a time.
All right, Nick, you're right.
Hang on, Nerd Father, go.
I was going to say I never get a point in. Alex Winter just came out saying he was abused as a kid, as a child actor.
Who did?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not shocked to hear it.
Alex Winter, the guy that plays Bill in Bill and Ted, said he was abused as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
That he was also in Lost Boys. So when did he come out and say this?
Let me see. I was just looking at the article 2 years ago.
It just falls by the wayside. Yeah, Alex Winter says he was sexually abused. This was back in 2018. The actor said he never discussed it before because it was potentially dangerous secret, but that Hollywood's changing culture has made the conversation possible. Has it now? Now.
Maybe in 2018.
Hollywood doesn't give a shit about men and boys. I mean, let's be real here. The Me Too movement, I hear about all these stories about these, the abuse of young boys. I think the only time we ever saw really someone get punished for that was Kevin Spacey. And I think that was more because I think Kevin Spacey's response made it even more public. Like, I think if Spacey's a creepy guy, but I mean, just his response to that was just so ridiculous that it kind of blew the story up even more. But yeah, people, that's what's so sickening is that people just don't give a shit.
I'm gay now.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Spacey, once again, he must have crossed somebody. He must have betrayed somebody. He must have not done something that somebody was demanding of him because they never would have let that out. They never would have let it get out of control like it did. Do I believe he did it? Yes, I do. I absolutely believe he did it, but I also firmly believe we never would have heard a word about it if he'd kept towing the line. I don't know how he stepped out, but he did something that pissed off the wrong people.
I think CBS might have actually had something to do with that because they were really starving for attention. And, they sort of used their actor and put him in the spotlight right when the show needed it the most. And I'm not questioning the actor. I'm questioning CBS here. Like, that's such a sensitive thing to put in right. It did get a lot of news attention. It didn't get any viewership, but it definitely brought the news. So I was so skeptical of that timing.
That is interesting. Yeah. And it was during the time, I think, when Me Too and Time's Up was a huge power grab. And of course, it started out genuine, and we've talked about it a bunch. But I also think it was circling the wagons, trying to keep more information from getting out. And yeah, there had to be some sacrificial lambs. And sure, I got CBS, considering what they have done in the past and how petty they are, I could totally believe that.
If it's like Kurtzman.
Spoiling an episode. So
one of my friends described him as a bitchy queen, and I was like, is he? And I've been watching his videos trying to figure that out. I'm sort of down the rabbit hole there. I'm like, oh my god, he really is.
Kurtzman, yes, he is. He also thinks he is one of the most gifted writers in Hollywood, according to people who have emailed me. I don't know for sure. Okay? I don't know for sure, but he's very proud of his own work.
I'm sure he is.
The things people said about Chibnall have been awful. I can't say all of them, but I really don't like that guy. But the one thing I can say is Chibnall, unlike Kurtzman, at least was a fan of the show prior to doing it, but he hates Doctor Who now. Like he doesn't even like, he was a fan when he was a kid and got over it, still used it, and it's just used as a vehicle now for relevance. Just like Brie Larson becoming Captain Marvel, she said in one of her first interviews she took the role for influence, to use it as a platform. So yeah.
Hey Gary, one thing, and then I gotta head out. I got lots of reading to do. But I remember I was watching. This was a while back. The Orville is canceled videos, and people saying no, it's not canceled. It's not canceled. But then, since we're all friends here, on a Remember stream, I remember you telling us, like, based on your sources, that it seemed like the Orville was having more of a swan song as its most recent season. So I'm just kind of was curious, has that information changed? Like, is it more of a swan song, or have you heard differently recently?
I haven't heard anything different since. What I said is they've gotten more money for this season than they've ever gotten before. Each episode is upwards of 8 to 9 million an episode. So they're going to be like little mini movies. That was their language. But it's just the writing on the wall. Because I asked them specifically if it was canceled, and they said no. But the one thing we can do is be loud about it. Show your support. Could it go somewhere else? Sure. I don't know, but they wouldn't give me that kind of any details. But that was just my assumption at the time when I saw things. I'm like, they got more money than God on this episode right now. Their sets look freaking amazing. So it just kind of looks like this might be it. And that's just based on Seth signing that huge deal with NBC. I don't know how he spends so much time on that show and then develop shows for NBC, although the deal is just development. It's not actively being in them or writing them. It's just getting a crew together and basically having his own production studio. And that's the new thing now with the streaming wars. You get a creative talent, you hire him in. It's the studio system all over again. It's exclusivity. That's all.
All right. Well, thanks, Gary. I got to head out, but it was fun talking with you all, and hopefully I'll be able to join the next one.
Take her easy.
Take care.
Have a good one.
See ya.
I would be fine with exclusivity if it was exclusive talent and not check marks for an agenda. I'd be fine with it.
I think these deals are all for naught. Because have you heard anything from the NBC streaming service? I mean, has anybody signed up for it here?
They advertised really heavily like about a month ago, and that they were free. And that's the last I heard of them.
Okay. Did you sign up for it, Father?
Can't get it on.
Of course
I got a Law and Order kick when I was on vacation, so I'm just trying to watch it. But I do want to see Brave New World to see how they did that.
Yeah.
The only problem is it's not on Roku.
HBO Max. Yeah, you can't get it on Roku, or you can get it on Amazon Fire TV if you know how to sideload apps. But just like HBO Max, it's not on the two biggest streaming platforms in the country, which is ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. They haven't fixed that yet, huh?
It's all about money.
Yep.
And I was going to ask, Gary, did you see the video from Major Grin where Lower Decks possibly took a stab at Alex Kurtzman in the opening scene of the 4th episode?
Let me take a look.
It's a short video.
Yeah, we can pop it on. And is it like his latest one?
Probably. I mean, it was within a couple of days. Yeah.
I got it. We'll take a look at it right now.
I mean, I don't know. I'd love to think it was, but
Let's see.
I'm sorry, that guy's super boring. Like, oh, I'm boring. That guy is super boring. Like, oh, I'm boring. That guy is super boring. I know he's boring. He's been boring for 15 years.
Coincidence.
Yeah, probably. But
Hey Gary, did you ever see that link that I sent you about the Doodly thing, that about the videos? That I think that's how they create all these things. And one of the little commercials for it actually says that you don't have to have any talent to do it. So I thought that was pretty funny. But it's the same exact animation, and I put the link in the stream. But yeah, it's amazing. I'm like, wow, that is how they did it. And they're even saying you don't need talent to use it. So it's too funny.
Oh, I've seen this stuff advertised just because it's kind of part of my business wheelhouse. Because it's a big thing with marketing right now. So like, well, everyone likes animated things because they're friendly and approachable.
Is it?
Are you quoting CBS right now? This will work out great. Put Star Trek on it.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting to see.
Emailing me with the InfoWars clip.
Oh, Gary.
Oh, that was great, Gary.
I missed it. What was the clip? I heard you talk about it. But I didn't see the actual
somebody was
clip.
able to tell you about that, because what were the chances? I mean, you came so close to missing that.
Oh, I would have totally missed it. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't listened to Alex in years when he stopped talking about the Bilderbergers. That was the stuff I was interested in. Here it is right there. Eric, send it again. I don't know why I have trouble seeing your emails. Probably because I look for Eric K and it's not Eric K. Here it is. There. I don't want to hear myself. Stop it. Is it Go Animate, Eric? Or is it a program like?
I'll send it to you. Just
my kid used Go Animate. That thing was awesome. Oh my God. You want to talk about locking in an autistic kid into something? He just freaking grabbed onto that, and he was making full-length cartoons when he was 7. And then they got rid of it. And I was tore up about it because it's like the one thing he was like laughing and passionate about it. And I'll pull it up. He made me an intro. Like a vintage Nerdrotic intro using like PBS background. I gotta find that again. That thing was awesome, and they got rid of it. But that's what it looks like to me. Looks like Go Animate. Don't mean to disrespect Go Animate though.
I sent you the link though to it. Hate to slow down the show.
Well, I'm probably gonna have to head out after.
I do have. While Gary's looking for that though. Oh, did he find it?
Yeah, it's
and
Doodly.
now girls on trampolines.
I should totally do that.
Man, I used to watch that with my pops when it was on.
So it was a great show.
Hi, I'm Brad Callen, and in this video, I'm going to show you how anyone can quickly and easily create doodle videos, just like the one you're watching right now, using Doodly, our drag-and-drop doodle software that allows anyone, regardless of tech skills,
animation
to create
looks better to me.
engaging professional doodle videos in a matter of minutes. Because doodle videos are fun and engaging, they can get you more clicks,
Are they
likes,
fun and
shares,
engaging?
and most important,
Yeah, show me some of the actual.
viewers really absorb your message, making your videos that much more impactful. And even better, doodle videos can make complex or boring subjects fun and easy to understand.
You mean like Lower Decks?
The other things say that they have like already drawn up pictures that you can like put faces on and all this other stuff. So you don't have to draw anything. You just got to like plug and place, and then you can animate it too. So it's like, wow, it's like a fully made cartoon. You just have to add the voices to.
Oh, they got the rainbow of hand colors.
The hands are part of the video.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
One of the commercials that like has two like Ozarks or some guys from like live in a swamp or something, and he's like, but I can't draw. And he's like, you don't need to. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. I haven't been able to find the one that says you can have zero talent to actually make a video. Maybe they dropped that one, but yeah, it was pretty interesting.
Yeah,
I'm going to drop out and keep listening. If anyone else wants to come up, thank you so much, Gary.
Hey, Father.
I was just going to say before I drop out. So I was in the big town the other day. I loaded up on some comics.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Look at the price.
Who's that handsome man on the screen? Oh wow.
$5. $5.
Yeah, but look at this one. Come on, cat, get out of the way.
Yep. Jeez.
A 201.
No, that's
they are having their half off sale coming up at the end of next month, and I plan to go nuts.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I don't really care about, I don't care how old they are. It's just that's when the stories were fun. Reading one where Lex Luthor right now is trying to take over Superman's mind, make him go nuts. They don't have anything like that today. They're not fun anymore.
No, not
And I mean, the thing is, I could get a 1969 for $1 more than I could pay for the Wonder Woman variant. Why would I want to buy that crap?
Right? No. And
because I'm going to take off.
All right,
If
Father.
you don't, Father.
Bud.
Take it easy.
That-
What's
and
hilarious
the
to me is that the father, the Catholic priest that just said that, would be considered evil and toxic because
Well,
of
he
the
didn't have
fact
to
that
say
he-
that to be considered evil and toxic. He just has to be Catholic. That's just how
That's
it is.
That's
yeah. It's also applied.
I wonder if this new Wonder Woman is going to be foiled by a flight of stairs.
Maybe.
I was disappointed in the CGI for
The
Peter
third act.
in that
Oh.
trailer. Yeah.
I didn't watch it. The Wonder Woman trailer.
It's average.
It's only the CGI is only slightly better than what they did in Cats. At least it's not as terrifying, but
I heard that.
it's not good. And you would think that for all the backlash that Cats got, the fact that it had to be pulled out and they tried to fix it to put it back into theaters and it still wasn't fixed or good, you'd think that they would have at least attempted to do more practical effects as opposed to CGI the entire thing. It didn't work with Green Lantern's costume. It didn't work with Captain Marvel's. It doesn't work with this. Like, it's just, I don't know.
I believe the denial goes too deep, that they think that the message carries the necessary information.
If Marvel could make Captain America look good, I don't know how DC can't make Cheetah look good. And I remember thinking that way back in 2011. I'm like, all right, how's Captain America going to look good? But then, especially come like 2014 and 16, the suit was looking pretty damn awesome, especially the Winter Soldier, too. And yet somehow Cheetah in 2020 still can't be pulled off.
Yeah.
Furries exist. It's not hard to design cat people.
This is true. I forget who brought it up, but I saw it on. It was like when cosplayers do it better, and
It's Comics Division brought it up.
it
Comics
was it was.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Why don't they
So,
just
I
hire
got a question.
cosplayers? Sorry, yeah.
They should, but it's egos. I mean, it's always been about egos. They think they know more. They think they can do better. And God, that's the constant argument I'm having to this day about the Batman costume. It's like, it's not the worst Batman costume I've ever seen. It's just their fourth crack at it, and they still can't get it right. Well, it's like Arkham Asylum. Well, I don't want to watch a video game adaptation. I want to watch a comic book adaptation. Arkham Asylum's awesome. It's great. I'll watch it in Arkham Asylum.
Last week we were talking about the DC movies.
7. What's that?
Last week we were talking about the DC movies. You saw the fandom trailer, and I mean, I'm like I said, I'm Capaldi trash. I will watch anything he's in. So yeah, I will watch Suicide Squad, even if it's like fucking terrible. But we were saying like the costumes look ridiculous, but they look like comic book costumes.
Yeah.
Exactly, like
wait
they're
for that
supposed
movie.
to.
I think that movie's going to rock. Absolutely.
I really hope so.
Capaldi is amazing as the thinker. It's going to be freaking brilliant. No, it's James Gunn. However you feel about the dude's jokes, that he gets movie making on a level that most directors don't right now, and I think it is because of his trash B movie horror, semi-horror background.
Right.
Yeah,
could be.
Yeah. I was just when the fact that people, particularly certain more female voices, are upset that Suicide Squad, Harley was like sexualized, but then in Birds of Prey they were like, oh, it's wonderful, like she's strong and empowering and she's not sexualized and she's her own person, and now they're mad at her outfit for Suicide Squad, the red and black.
She's the most clothed that she's ever been in any
I know.
movie.
But
They
it
will
makes
always
her
be
look
angry.
she's too feminine, apparently. That she
She looks
boobs-
rockin'.
Yeah, her
That's
boobs
true, yeah.
look too good. Let's just be real. They're upset that her boobs look that good. Even if they're
Yeah.
clothed. Like, they're just mad about it.
Hey, the right
Yeah.
bra, you can make any boobs look good, okay? Like, they're just making her look good. Which, like, why not?
Yes.
Yep. Exactly.
Other than a superhero who's not supposed to be good looking, The Thing,
Yeah.
Right.
any superhero on screen should be good looking and showing off their assets. Every single one of them. You got your Jason Momoas, and you need to have, everything on the other side of that, right? Your Gal Gadots. They all need to be looking good. Every single one of them. There are not average looking superheroes.
I
in
want to
general.
see a movie with ugly people. I want to spend 3 hours watching really ugly people.
Right.
do things. Like,
Jake,
I want to
do you remember
sitting around a table, problem solving, mundane,
drinking
shit,
coffee?
drinking coffee and complaining about their bosses and talking.
Jake, do you remember Joe Madden had a saying that was, if you look hot, wear it? And that's just what I'm
Yes.
thinking of right now. If
Yes.
you look hot, wear it. Superheroes.
Absolutely. I mean, your Captain America needs to have huge pecs and a six pack, and my Black Widow needs to have a great ass and a tiny waist and a big boobs. That's what all
And
of my
red hair.
superheroes should look
and the
like.
big
Red
boobs.
And
hair.
red hair.
And red hair. Like, I need to look at my male superheroes and say, "You son of a bitch, I can't look like that." I need to look at
I
my
remember
female
watching what I
superheroes and be
want
like, "What's
to."
up?"
I remember watching Thor Ragnarok and being like, God, Chris Hemsworth, bless you and your sleeveless tunics. Just like, yes.
I used to go see almost every Marvel movie with two women, and they loved seeing Chris Hemsworth. Don't tell me I don't know why.
yeah, that's what it was like going to see the movie with my sister.
Aquaman did not have
I'm
an
sure,
85%
Ginger.
female audience because it was a good
Here,
movie.
here, Lady Gravemaster.
That's right.
Aquaman had an 85% female audience because Jason Momoa looks good with his shirt off and when wet.
You're
Correct.
saying they didn't come for Amber
He looks
Heard.
good.
Damn, brother.
They did not come for Amber Heard. No, we did not.
Got a wet
Definitely
Momoa.
a deep plot.
I walked into a wet Momoa.
I love that. I love
You
that they
took
had a
the
wet
chance,
Momoa
Polly.
walking out on Amber Heard. In the video.
Yes,
was good. That
Absolutely
was-
neurotic.
It's beautiful. Movie.
No, but
You know, I
And-
thought we were
and I
talking
think
about
that
Jake's
was-
looks. You know, the people in the chat. The people in the chat are like, "That's a handsome Jake." Oh my
What are you
god!
doing with that LA Padre hat on? What the hell is that supposed to be?
Yeah, what is that weird
Dungeons
amalgamation of a
Versions,
hat?
All right, all right. Before
wish
you
the
guys
Padres were the
stop,
Dodgers
stop.
now? Do you
first
want
of
to take
all.
another team from us? God damn it! Stop it! You've taken enough.
All right,
Stop
time for
it.
neurotic sports war edition. Let's talk about the baseball again.
Oh,
He's creating
I'm swimming.
conversation.
I'm swimming, guys, through
I'm
this hate
swimming.
that I'm
Yeah,
feeling. I'm
I'm,
swimming through the hate.
I'm convinced
Hey.
Polly just always wears hats one way or
Okay.
the other.
there you
Here we go. That's my college. That's my college.
Yeah,
It
like
was college
college.
night.
Oh,
It
you,
was
you're
college
one of
night.
those cool people.
Gotcha.
I'm not. I
read
just.
the books and stuff.
All right. You know what?
Who saw Bill and Ted? Who saw Bill and
Yes.
Ted?
Tonight.
Tonight.
We won't spoil. No spoilers. There you go. That's better. That makes more sense to me. Okay.
Yep.
Well, I want to make sense to you, Gary.
Yeah, that's good.
I'd love for every one of you to go watch my Bill and Ted reaction stream, but only if you don't care about spoilers.
I very much care about spoilers.
I do warn you about 7 minutes in to check out if you don't want spoilers.
And sub to Jake Station, man. I've been watching their stuff, bro.
I commented on the video.
Right back at you. And I pinned it, but then it's a live stream, so I unlisted it, so the comments not, you know.
So yeah, it was smart to unlist it though. I thought it was good. Without spoiling, I enjoyed it. It wasn't perfect, but it's Bill and Ted. They're not a perfect movie. It was very true to their characters, and it was pretty fun.
Gary,
yeah, I want to check it out.
Yeah.
Can I ask? Sorry,
Nick. Why? Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to know 1 to 10 because me and my missus are gonna watch it. How 1 to 10? How woke is it? Because that's my one worry.
10 being extremely woke, 1 being not woke at all.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
1.5.
Ooh,
Oh,
I'll take
that
it. In
gives me so much
2020
weight.
standards, that's a gold mine. I'll take
That's
it.
incredibly non-woke in 2020 standards.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Is that okay with Cash? Cash, you gonna start watching football again?
And I want to watch the Chiefs, but I'm so sick of all this political bullshit.
I hear you.
Yeah. Well, the NFL is supporting BLM and sending them money to bail out rioters and
fucking do.
Hey, Gary, what are the dates for Vegas?
Dates
for Vegas
are. I'll get them.
December 9th to the 13th.
There you go.
You don't have
Gary
to
will be there on the 8th.
Lady Gravemaster, ladies and gentlemen.
There she
Oh.
goes.
I'm supposed to know these things.
There you
Because
go.
everybody else will forget.
I quizzed
I
her.
need to make my reservations.
I'm
Yeah.
making mine now.
Yeah, Vegas ain't closing again. I don't care if they're third spike, fifth spike, sixth spike. They're not. They can't afford to close again.
No, if it closes, we're just going to go and peacefully protest.
That sounds like so. Who's all going from everyone?
Matter of
here?
fact, that's what I'm going to call it from now on. It's going to be the Fandom Menace peaceful protest in Las Vegas of Scarf.
Mostly peaceful.
Time order,
Mostly
third
peaceful
buildings.
protest.
Well done.
I haven't
Yes.
heard you talk about it, Gary. Did you rent a space out, or what's the deal?
We're going to rent out. If I can't get a room, so Jeremy's wife works in the hotel business. She's trying to get us a room there, but I think they're all booked. So I'm going to go. We're going to go to the Millennium Fandom Bar, which is near the Stratosphere. It's owned by a Frenchman named Alex, and it is a sports bar that's a nerd bar. So it's not. It's a nerd bar built like a sports bar. You know what I mean? It's just nerd stuff everywhere, and you drink, and there's an extra room, and we can party it up in that room. I don't know how many people are going to show up, but that extra room that's where we're going to live stream, and everybody can join the live stream, and it'll probably be a hot mess, but who cares? And we'll have a lot of fun. Yeah,
Will there
so
be
Millennium Fandom Bar.
Will there be,
And it's going to still. Oh, sorry.
Will there be
I don't see them.
spots
Sorry, I was going to say I don't see them canceling the convention, but Gary has said that even if they do cancel it, you can still show up and hang out.
Yeah. What's up, Paulie?
Are there areas there where we can also live stream as well, if we wanted to?
Yeah.
Would that be possible?
All right.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
I'd
booked,
like to
Gary. I'll
interview
be there
you
all
guys.
4 days.
I'd like to interview you guys. You know.
Sure. No problem. Yeah. You guys feel free to do. It'll be noisy in there, but yeah, if you can just bring your lavalier mics, and you should be good.
I'll start talking to Lady Gravemaster, get the details. And she's been amazing on Twitter, by the way.
Oh,
Amazing.
thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
I'll worry about hotel later, but I just booked the flights. I'll be there all 4 days, Gary.
Yeah, get those flights. The hotels will always be kind of. I think they're going to be cheap for the rest of the year there.
Yeah.
Although
I think I'm
I
just
don't know
going to
if
drive it.
$200 round trip on Southwest from Texas.
Wow.
Not bad.
that is good.
I don't think I can make it because December is usually super busy at my friend shop. But I just want to check to see what flights will cost.
Yeah.
Well, you know the Cubs won't be playing, so you have time to go and.
Not in fucking December, no.
Season will be over, Polly.
Whatever,
Duh.
man. I'm trying to get in there.
Dodgers choke. Dodgers choke.
Don't come into
Yeah.
Chicago. Don't come into Chicago. Not worth it.
No, I'm not setting foot in that town unless I have to go save just some guy. Then I'll do it.
I got out there recently from Rogers Park. It's hellhole.
You're gonna need air support. If just some guy needs an extraction, you're gonna need air support because they
Who's
keep
got the
pulling.
copter? Lady
Yeah.
Gravemaster, set that up.
Okay, I'm on it. I'll go
We're
talk
gonna need
to.
an extraction team. You figure out the deets, and Nerdrotic will make it happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go talk to my Hilo buddies. One of them is currently a what is it? He just picked up. No, he's not a second lieutenant. I think he's a captain now. So
When does the
Get
house
it done.
hunt here in Texas get started? When you start making those trips, Gary?
In about a month. I'm gonna head
So
out to.
you're definitely not going to have a room at the Caesars then, right? Or
we don't know yet. I haven't made a decision yet. I haven't heard back from Jeremy's wife, but if it's not
Okay.
there, it'll be at the Millennium Fandom Bar.
because that
Either
depends
way,
on
though,
where I'm going to stay.
I'm going to position myself near the Caesars because I don't want to live. I don't want to like stay at that part of town where the Millennium Fandom Bar is because that's kind of the rough spot. You want to stay in like the center of the strip.
Yeah, center to south is
Yeah.
best. Although don't stay in New York, or Circus, or what's the other one? Excalibur.
No,
Don't stay in
definitely
the
stay in the Excalibur.
I love that.
100% stay in the Excalibur.
Excalibur's fun.
I
Yeah,
wanted
I'll
to
say
say
that.
that.
It is so fun. It is full of people who will curse at you in the in the restaurants. So that's great. Like it's yeah. Also,
I guess there won't be too much pool time in December, so we're probably
That'd be
safe that
cold.
way. Yeah, it does get very cold in December in Vegas, by the way. So anyone who's planning on wearing shorts should probably reconsider.
I wasn't planning on wearing anything.
Hey now.
Yeah,
Hey now.
Okay.
Hey now.
Wow.
very good. Woohoo!
Hey Gary, we got a lot of East Coast people coming.
Hopefully, I mean, we've invited everyone. So, I mean, I'm not gonna, they got to pay this isn't, I don't know how Ethan's doing his convention. I'm sure, most conventions, when they get talent, they usually pay for the talent to come out, but I don't think that'll be the case for Ethan. I think it'll be just, you're invited. If you can make it, cool. If you can't, and it's the same situation here. Like everyone's invited. Like, I don't care. We just show
It'd be
up.
great if Az could make it out. That would
Oh
be
God,
incredible.
that'd be great.
Oh
Yep.
shit.
Mhm.
I'm
Some
trying
Brits
to
and
talk to him.
the Aussies and the
Talk
Brits.
about
That'd be dope.
extraction from across the pond.
Dude, get R&B to work on him to get him out there for that too.
Well, can people travel here yet?
That's the quest. Yeah. That's
From the
question.
UK?
Yeah.
It might be different in December though.
You can absolutely do international travel now.
You can? Okay.
And
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh yeah, my friend flew back to
Amer-
Spain already.
Americans can?
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought we were like
New
banned
Zealand.
from half the world.
Can't
I
come
know
to
that
New
like
Zealand.
3 weeks ago it was different. That's why I'm questioning.
Oh yeah, no, yep. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Americans can go anywhere, but I don't know if people will accept us. But we are open to others right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
like, is this like a
So
small
just-
percentage of countries
This
or
is
just
my
half?
America card. Let me
All
in.
the places Trump wants to go, we can't go right now.
If
It
you go to UK right now, you have to quarantine for 14 days.
Yeah, but we're talking about
Yeah.
Az coming here.
Yeah, exactly. As we
What
come
about-
here, no quarantine necessary.
Someone's asking for Cecil, man. Where's Cecil at? Is he in
New York, he'll
Oh,
probably come.
God.
Cecil said he was going to come. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think Anna's going to be there, and Jesse Milestone's having her birthday. Jeff's going to be there for World Class. Jeremy's going to be there for sure.
Comics division.
Comics division will be there. Odin, I don't know because he does have. He's got what's it? Is it agoraphobia? What's the one you fear crowds?
Oh, I thought you meant that he's a teacher.
Arachnophobia.
Yeah, I thought you were
whatever it
gonna
is.
too.
That's agoraphobia is fear of crowd.
Agoraphobia. Yeah. So
I don't
he has
think
social
Odin's coming.
anxiety.
Odin's not gonna come, I don't think, because isn't that about the time his baby's gonna arrive?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Lord, dude.
Teaching and a baby.
Look at
Yeah,
you
that'll-
knowing all the details.
That'll stop him.
Well
yeah.
spotted, Eric.
All right, Gary, I'm going to pop off here in a few. We're supposed to be starting to stream on my channel about 20, 30 minutes. So, but thank you for having us. And it's always a pleasure coming on chatting with everybody. I appreciate it very much. Anybody interested in checking out my channel, I'd love to have you. We do a lot of good content, I think. And I'm thinking about you might have noticed I got a little passionate earlier. I've been thinking about doing like a Tuesday evening stream, bringing the politics in. I think I'm new enough on the channel that there's not really an established brand per se yet. So
I feel like it's kind of hard not to talk about right now. I mean, it's especially when it's affecting everybody's personal life.
The funny thing is I'm one of the least affected of anybody in the whole goddamn country, but I'm pissed off for those of you who were affected.
Make that two of us, Jake. Make that two of us.
Yeah, Casey has.
Look, all I'm saying is when they go out and they shoot you just because you have a Blue Lives Matter patch, and they assume you're a Trump supporter, that's when you know that there are people in this whole insanity that are too far gone.
That was Portland last night.
Yep.
To their credit, Mr. Freeze in Denver, about 50 Boog boys in their militia outfit and gear showed up to take care of about 100 protesters last night. Between them and the police force, they sort of rounded it up and shut it down.
Yeah, I live 14 blocks from the Capitol.
It was right around the corner from you,
right next door to the Capitol, which I've I don't go to work anymore because I'm not allowed to because of the virus. But yeah, it got loud for about. I could hear the speakerphone and everything, and then they shut it down about 8:30. Like it got loud about 7:45, and it was down by 8:30, which to me is like a neighbor being like a little bit too loud for a barbecue. So I'm pretty happy with what goes on here. Denver isn't like perfect at all, but from what I've seen, it's full with a lot of people who are just trying to do the right thing, and there are a lot of problems here and like no easy solutions. I could see the nice out of it at least. Adios, man.
Thanks, everybody.
Later, Jake.
Bye, Jake.
Take care.
See you, Jake.
I guess I'm going to take my leave too because I'm going to be heading over with Jake. So you all have a good evening.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Who had the sirens in the background? That was good. That was a good background.
That was not me. I thought it was you.
Yeah.
You got me. It was me.
It's all good.
I got a house in Mid City now, so we hear those.
It's LA, so you hear sirens all the time.
Right.
Yes and no. But yeah, I mean it's a pretty big town. But the part we're in, yes.
I don't know if this is bragging anymore, but I got to see a movie in a movie theater yesterday, and I was very excited about it.
What'd you see? What'd you see?
I saw The Personal History of David Copperfield, which is a movie by Armando Iannucci, who did, like, to what I care about, he did The Thick of It, but to Americans, he did Veep. He did The Death of Stalin, which the Daily Wire guys love that movie, so I'm like, oh, Stalin gets killed in that movie? I really need to watch it then. But most importantly to me is that Peter Capaldi's in it for like 5 minutes, and so that's why I went to go see it. But it was also a really good movie. Jesus Christ.
Is that with that Indian actor?
Yeah, Dev Patel is in it.
Dev Patel,
and
yeah.
I will say, if we're gonna talk about like the woke scale, so I went into it being like, oh, it's gonna be like kind of woke because there's like, it's supposed to be like an old timey set movie. No, it actually has like theater casting, as in there are characters who are like parent and child who are completely different races, and so if you go into it,
casting.
Yeah, basically. I didn't think of it as like theater casting. So it was basically like Armando was just like, I'm going to have my favorite people be in this movie and it's going to be awesome. And it was just a really fun romp of a movie. So if it's playing near you and you're interested, go see it.
I saw the poster. It looked amazing.
I had chicken and waffles while I saw this movie. It was awesome.
Nice.
Nice.
I want chicken and waffles.
I got to see Inception, the 10-year anniversary on the big screen on Thursday. Was well worth it. It was fantastic. And then probably for Labor Day weekend, my theater has the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy playing, but they're doing it in they're doing it not in release order, but in chronological order. So they're starting with episode 1 all the way through episode 6. The Disney trilogy is not being shown. I don't know why.
Because it doesn't exist.
It's only showing the prequel and the original trilogy. And then they've also got that's Friday. It starts at, I want to say it's like 7 a.m. to 7. It's like a 12-hour streak, but I can't remember exactly when it starts. And then they've got the Lord of the Rings extended editions going on Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah, I can see the extended Return of the King at 7:15, basically any night, and I don't know what I'm doing with my life that I haven't done it.
You know, I'm shocked at doing the extended. I thought they would have done the theatrical, knowing that that's probably the ones they might have had on file. But I guess now that everybody has extended, it's like, well, we don't need the theatrical anymore.
The people who are going to go see it, like, want to see all of it. You know, like nobody who saw it 10 years ago and didn't care is going to go see it again. They'll go see Wonder Woman. I want to go see Wonder Woman, but you know, priorities.
Yeah.
Gary, did you see Tenet yet, Gary?
No.
I thought it was
I
only
haven't
later
either.
this week.
Oh, I don't know if there was some advance
Some
or
theaters,
something.
some people have already seen it.
Hi
guys.
So
what happened, I believe, is
Sorry,
that
Trey.
there was the international screenings, and then there was the early access that I believe Cinemark and other theaters are doing this week, where you get to see it a little early before the weekend showings, which is open for everyone.
Okay, I could see the New Mutants tonight. I'm not kidding. There is a drive-in theater about a half hour away from me that's showing the New Mutants, Bill and Ted Face the Music, Jumanji, and New Mutants and Deadpool. I am so going. Oh Lord, 8:30 p.m. Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, you could make out with your wife during New Mutants and then watch Deadpool.
Yeah, sure.
Oh man.
There you go.
That'd
That'd be
be awkward with
entertaining.
my kid in the car, but I mean, you know, I'll just say, how'd you get here, kid? You know, think about
So,
it.
funny story. So, at my theater that also has this inflatable drive-in they do during the weekends, they have this film called Words on Bathroom Walls. Has anyone even heard of that one?
No.
I didn't even know it was even coming out. Like, why would you show that? Would anyone be interested?
Sorry, what was it
Probably-
called?
I think
Maybe it's that theater. Sometimes they show a movie in a theater, so it's technically released for awards consideration. I've never heard of it.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe they got a bootleg copy or something and they're showing it, you know.
Hey, guys, I
Nobody's
have
seen
to.
it here locally, so we're going to show it
I've
now.
got yeah, I have to bounce. It's 6:00 Sunday night. It's family night, and so we always start at 6 no matter what. So I do have to bounce. Sorry, you can hear the background. But I did want to let you know, Gary, your video is up to over 65,000 views for your San Francisco exit.
I just
And so
Exit.
you're at over
Exit.
65,000, and you now have you're over 200. You're well over 270,000 subs. You're at like
Órale.
273, I believe.
Get
Holy
it, brother.
shit.
So
Wow, thanks.
So, I will leave on
almost
those
didn't
happy
really-
notes.
Oh, Gary.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
I take credit
So-
for posting it so many times in chat.
So props to everybody. I hope you have I hope
Lady,
you all
go-
have a
go
great,
enjoy
great
your
night.
family.
You too.
Yes.
Take care.
Bye.
Thanks for
Love
your
you all.
help.
Bye.
You rock. Worth every penny that one is. I tell you, she is. When I put the word out to get a producer, she freaking sent me the most impressive email I've ever received. Schedules, 4-page resume. It was almost TLDR, to be honest with you. But I did good with the
It's
first
like,
thing.
geez, you got the job. Don't send me this PDF.
Yeah, right? Don't give me a book. You know,
It's zipped. Fuck.
Right.
Hey, Gary, could I tell you a story?
Of course you can.
So, you know that Go Animate thing you were mentioning?
Yep.
I actually was a part of the community on YouTube at one point.
Really?
And I can tell you, you better be happy your son didn't get into the YouTube community.
Yeah. Probably.
Trust me, it's a definition between high school and middle school, where basically there were good users and bad users.
Yeah.
No, really. And then the only things that could come in the users' minds to try to get back at these users is basically doing the Don't Feed the Trolls, except dumber. But they basically, no joke, make grounded videos out of them.
Yep. Oh God, I remember that he saw that he was too young to get what was going on in the comments, or it wasn't bothering him very much. But it just locked him in. It was unbelievable. You saw, I don't know. The first time I saw the potential, it's. I mean, he got into it like an adult did. He understood it beyond where I could, and it's as much boomer shit as I get. I actually understand quite a bit from especially animation and After Effects. This is stuff I've done professionally, and he was getting it quicker than I couldn't even keep up with him on how fast he was getting it. And it was a really cool program. I'm sure adults did adult things to it, and I'm sure.
Oh no, it's not even adults. It was mostly Kid Man.
Well, kids are awful. Kids can be
kids are. I mean, here's the mindset of them. Basically, for the most part, the grounded videos they did, the grounded repeatedly for a random number.
Yes.
Most of them are the baby show characters. So they use Caillou, which they jokingly call Caillou, Dora, and all those characters. They basically made grounded videos out of them.
Yep. Oh my God! If I heard grounded one more
thing in
time,
the world.
I would go a little nuts. I gotta admit that. But yeah, he made a whole story, and he was really excited about it. And he was bummed when they shut it down. But it was supposed to be.
Well, what happened was, I remember. Did he use Go Anime on YouTube? Was that the service?
No. We were using the service itself.
So the site.
Yeah, we used the site.
So
and I signed
when did
him
you
up
guys
for the
stop?
yearly subscription.
When did you stop?
When it ended.
Well,
They got rid
technically,
of all
it
the
never
subscription.
really. What happened was back in 2016, it didn't end. What happened was that they took away the Go Plus membership and all the non-business themes, and then they still exist as this. You want to know the name of it now?
I don't know.
Beyond. It is not a good service anymore. It is. Oh my God, the business themes. They look like if Lower Decks had a baby with the worst Flash cartoon.
He's typing like a mad person in the background. You can hear it all.
But I do
I'm so
want
sorry,
to tell
I
you
thought I
something.
muted.
Though.
Okay.
The community of Go Animate actually, like a lot of the good users or the ones who kept it alive are actually developing this software called Vapor Offline. So basically, you got the old themes in this app that you can use offline, except for the text-to-speech, which are online, and you basically can make Go Anime videos again on your computer without having to go to Go Anime site anymore.
Yeah. What basically it ended for him when they got rid of that animation style and they changed the style completely to a corporate one, and then they ended all the subscribers. So it basically you had to be a business, and it was really expensive. And then I offered to sign him up anyways. I hate the style. I don't like the new style, and it was very corporate. And so
well,
he got
like I
over
said,
it.
if you want, I can try contacting you with the information on how to do use
Send it, but
Vapor offline.
it's been years since he's been into it, and he's like well on to the next thing. If you know how kids on the spectrum work.
Well, I'm actually also on the spectrum.
Yeah,
I have
they
a little
get
nostalgia for the old
He
days.
gets really obsessed with stuff, and then he'll be into it like no other thing, and then it is dead to him once it's gone.
Oh, tell me about it.
gone to the
I'm
next
very similar because I'm also on the spectrum. So I knew when Going Animate was big, and I actually kind of going back to it a little bit because of Apper and the nostalgia sake. But yeah, it's very disappointing how everything went about, because I believe if none of the grounded stuff happened and the community didn't get a bad name, I don't think the business thing would have happened. They probably would have just evolved it to more of a, okay, so we got the customer service here, we got a business one also called Beyond whatever, but Go Animate would still be in its normal form. It would still be there. But because everything happened probably, and hell, the CEO isn't even the creator anymore, that's how bad downhill it went, they basically are lost now.
That's
There's
mostly
nothing.
that's the case with a lot of these tech stuff is they get in to make money and bail out. They have their great idea, YouTube, and then they bail out, you know? And that's, the way it connected with him was unbelievable. It was great. It was a great year. It was money well spent. And but you know, he writes his little fantasy stories now, which I love. So he does that thing now. And I got to check on him.
He's a writer. That's great.
Yeah. He's
good to hear.
Yeah. There's things he's brilliant at. There's things that he has a tough time with. But I mean, that's also a normal kid stuff. So he's doing really good though.
The fact that he's writing
someone who's
great.
starting to, that's good to hear too.
Nick Weiser, the dates for Vegas again are the December
9th.
December 9th through December 14th. I'm getting there the 8th, and then I'm going to stay an extra day. So I'll be there for like a full week.
Wow.
Thank you for that information, Gary. Appreciate that. I'm going to try to take that off from my work.
No problem. Please do. No, I want to see you there. And honestly, you don't have to get a ticket to Star Trek at all.
Right.
And if you do go, I recommend just getting the day ticket. That's like $75 to $100. It's the packages they have are a complete ripoff. Just don't even bother with them. I got like a $900 one. And it was a waste of dollars.
Jesus.
Yeah, I wish thank God I could write it off. But it's the con itself. You can do a little shopping there. But they really try to hook you with paying a bunch of money for autographs.
Of course they do. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Every Comic-Con ever. Even the local ones do the same stuff.
Always
Actually,
plenty
guys,
to do in Vegas, so you can
Yeah,
gamble, you can shop. There's Miracle
It
Mile
makes
right
me
across
wonder,
the
though,
way.
does Secret Hideout get a little money from Star Trek Las Vegas?
Yeah.
I had a feeling, because it's no wonder they always go to that
Well, they
con to
have to pay
basically
'em.
try to.
They have to pay them to get the likenesses and
Oh.
So
basically, CBS gets a little money, but then Secret Hideout over here in the corner says, "Oh yeah, I want money too. Give me money for my designs."
Well, that's why there's such a great expense for all these conventions, because otherwise, if CBS and Secret Hideout and all the copyright holders didn't get their cut from the convention tickets and fees, they'd shut it down. They'd go to court, do a variety of different things. I mean, I can remember when there used to be a great weekly comics convention in LA at the Shrine Auditorium, and they used to have different books and stuff, and they just basically it died because of all the different copyright holders worried about infringement and stuff.
What makes me wonder though
they
is
tried to
could
do
something
it
like
on a
that
weekly
come back?
basis. It was insane. So it just died. But I mean, that was around for like 15 plus years, and that was a gas to go to.
I wonder if it could come back though, because here's the thing: the corporations are starting to get out, if you know what I mean. Because think about it. Marvel and DC are in the trash, and everybody else is on fire. Well, IDW is burning in the dumpster fire. And basically, most of the comic artists nowadays are trying to go independent. So you could basically have one that's for indie artists, and you won't have any problem anymore.
You could still have a con and have things there, but we're talking specifically a Star Trek convention. Like I could have a Star Trek convention. I could say, I'm going to have a Star Trek convention. I just couldn't call it an official Star Trek convention. I can get Walter Koenig there or whatever, and start one tomorrow. But this is the official one, so they have to license the stuff. And as far as other cons, like San Diego is supposedly nonprofit, so they you know, but they're yeah, exactly. They're so big that the studios want to go, but now they're bailing out. DC's gonna Fandom was such a success that DC's gonna start doing their own convention soon. So that's coming.
Wait, didn't they not have it on YouTube to hide the numbers though? That's my question though.
I don't know about that. I know they said they had 22 million people watching, like a lot, like a friggin' lot.
But I wonder where though, because I couldn't find it anywhere on YouTube.
Yeah, it was difficult to find, but even if you went to those websites, were all here, you can find the DC Fandom here, and then you had to read their entire article, and then they told you to go to another site that would tell you where to find it.
Oh, goodness. That would have been more confusing. Why not just stream it on something like Twitch or something? Seems like you would have gotten more views that way. But then again, maybe
they were
Twitch
able
is
to
flaky.
you had to sign up, and if you signed up, you gave them your information, so they were able to sell that information and to themselves for HBO Max and all kinds of info is money, big money. So
I don't know why they would want my info again after I already gave them mine with Hulu. So why would they care nowadays? I already gave them a crap ton of information for the games I buy from them. So
they get to resell it though. I don't know what's. I hear all the time that our information is worth a lot of money to these companies and they resell it. I've never seen like what that information goes for. I have no idea if it's just like a 0.1% of a penny or something like that, but it's just in bulk. I have no idea, but apparently it's worth a lot of money to a lot of companies.
Wow. It's already 4:04. I'm gonna bounce, Gary. Peace out.
All right, Paulie.
Everyone.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bounce here pretty soon too.
Much love, everybody.
I got to
Be
prepare
well
for
this
a
week.
show.
Bye now.
Yeah, I really got to.
Yeah.
Dodgers suck.
Okay, so thanks for.
I try to give you guys love, and I get the Dodge. I'm gonna put the camera on for a second, Gary. I try to give love to this, to Jim. See, that's how writing starts.
That's how right. Is that how? No, he doesn't. Look at that. He's shaking his head.
Whatever, Ace. Much love to you all.
You're the best,
Much
man.
love, Polly, Cash.
Be well, guys.
Take care, Polly.
Take care, everyone. Eric, thank you for all your hard work. I appreciate you. Ace, Mr. Freeze, love you, man. Nick Weiser, love you. Ginger, not Ginger. Did you get a bump out of your calendar at all? Because I did put the link up in a live stream.
I mean, Jake ordered it, so that was pretty nice.
I
of him.
put your link in a live stream a couple of times. So, well,
yeah, I got a couple, but nothing much.
We still got one more day, right?
Yeah, like kind of like a 36 hours. Yeah, about 36
We got
hours.
36
basically.
hours. We need to get the word out there.
I need 20 more orders for this stretch goal, so kind of need a lot.
20. We could write Ace, Mr. Freeze. We can do 20 somehow.
Well,
Ace
the next
will
stream
say,
I'll post it a couple
yes.
of times. Okay.
Where's this link?
I did just get Mr. Australia Man to buy one, so that was very
in the
kind of
private
him.
chat here. I'll pop it in there. Eric K. Just put it in the private chat.
Oh yeah.
I'll put it in the regular chat. So
Yeah, Eric K boosted it about maybe 5 or 10 minutes ago.
yeah, if you like the Capaldi, this is where you should go.
It's all for charity.
All for charity.
Look at my shiny zines that I've done before. I've done 3 of them. Ooh,
That's brilliant. All right, I got to go feed.
trustworthy.
I got to go feed Nerdrotic Jr. So
Go feed your kids, Gary.
Yeah, this is like the hour I'm going to see him before the show starts. Oh, by the way, real quick, around the horn. What do you guys want to hear about tonight on the Inquisition? Start with you, Ginger. Go.
I don't know.
I know you talked about
Okay.
lower decks, but I mean, I'm a bit unsure about this thing. It seems like the only thing I like about lower decks is when they don't destroy Star Trek.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this guy's trying out for a new job. Are they going to be really mean? No, they're supportive because they're from the 24th century. So like all that kind of stuff. But
yeah,
you've touched on it a lot already.
Yeah. Yeah, Lower Decks it's interesting because it's not the worst thing they've produced. It's not good, but it's not the worst thing they've
I
produced.
think it's the most mediocre thing in the world. Like,
I know.
remove all the Star Trek out of it. What do you have left?
Cartoon.
Tim Morty.
Rick and Morty,
You have
right?
Final Space ripoff, Star Trek, whatever.
Yeah, it's a Rick and Morty wannabe show, and it's not. If it's not Star Trek, then it has nothing to cling on to, and it has no point of existing otherwise. So,
Yep.
Even then, it's clinging on to something that doesn't even know
No
well.
pun intended. Yeah. Nick Weiser, what do you want to hear about tonight?
The MCU, the Batman, and I love hearing you go off about San Francisco. I know, politics is not your thing, but hearing you go off on that video, it was just like, it makes me like, I have friends who still live in California, and I'm like, dude, get the hell out. And like, I got Chicago. I'm in the suburbs now. No regrets whatsoever. So when you go off about it, I mean, yeah, you don't talk like Air July, but you don't need to. But when you do it, it's good. It's straightforward, and I wouldn't mind hearing more of that. I mean, the video speaks for itself. People are already tuning like hell. So I'd say do more if you can. If you feel, of course.
Well, it's Doomcock's channel. I'll probably talk
True.
about it.
True.
Monday.
True.
I try to stay away from it. Doomcock does not want to get into politics, and I do not blame him at all.
But make fun of Brie Larson again. That never gets old.
I can do that.
Yeah, that'll work.
Bree's Feige, her big Feige.
Her big cucumber.
Her big
Wait, what do you-
zucchini.
Oh, that is zucchini.
It's a giant zucchini. It's not even the biggest one she found.
Ooh.
Great.
I grow zucchini, so I know what they look like. So
That just sounded so wrong when she said that in the video clip I saw. It was just like, oh my God.
Bree. So, Drake, what do you want to hear tonight?
Oh, wow. I can't think of something off the top of my head, but just maybe something happy and fun and positive for a change, something you guys both love.
Okay.
Sorry if I'm getting a buzz on the thing here, but
No,
you know,
we could talk
just
about The Expanse. We could talk about Bill and Ted. I liked Bill and Ted. I did.
that's so weird that I've read reviews where people say it's the most woke piece of garbage since whatever, and then I heard Tom from Midnight's Edge, and he basically gave it a B-. It was like, it's woke on the edges, but the only thing I didn't like, it wasn't as funny as I hoped it would be. But he still liked the movie.
I think people are mixing woke up with intersectional. Now it's intersectional in points, but it gets counteracted with something else I can't say because I don't want to spoil.
Right. Yeah,
But,
you don't want to do spoilers.
it's like so minor. It was starting to bug me until it wrapped up at the end, so it made it kind of okay. And as long as it was true to Bill and Ted, it was fine. But it's made in 2020, so you got to keep that in mind too.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
Or I was thinking of the Orville, something like that you guys both love. Because I know both of you guys sometimes take slings and arrows because people say, "Oh God, this is so negative." I'm getting off the. I watch the chat too sometimes. Like, bye guys, I'll come back in 20 minutes after you guys have stopped ranting about something. That's what I was thinking.
All righty, cool. And how do I say your name? C. Canetti? C. Canetti.
Just call me Connery.
Connery. What would you like to hear tonight?
So recently, Clownfish did 2 videos on these topics, and I thought I would like to hear yours and Doomcock's opinion on it. There was one where there was this magazine that said that Hollywood is burning right now, and then there was also this. You heard about Toonami, right? Apparently, they sent up.
Just saw that.
OM. And I thought I would like to hear both yours and Doomcock's opinion on it, because I'm very interested to hear.
Okay. I will check that out. I will research it. I think you're kind of fading in and out. So, Cash, you're next. What do you want to hear?
Well, I mean, I always enjoy a good angry rant from Doomcock. So go off on something. I'm about to finish the second half of Bill and Ted once we're done with this. So talk about that if you want. I also maybe talk about Chadwick Boseman. I mean, that was shock.
Yeah.
I almost kind of cried when I was at work when I heard about that. So, I mean, the fact the man gave us what he did while he was going through surgery is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And what made it worse is there was a couple. I mean, people did videos I know, and I don't blame them or judge them or anything, and I'm glad I didn't. When he was skinny, and it wasn't when he was really, really skinny. He was just skinny. And I didn't see any pictures of the cane or any shit like that. I just thought it was for a role. I just thought it was for a role.
I had a feeling something was up because it seemed like, why would you want to replace Black Panther already? Because it seemed like Disney was trying to already replace him, so I had to feel like something was
I
up.
thought that was crazy, but now now we know where it came from. So
makes
for
more
sure,
sense.
and that's the same thing. Got my dad. So yeah, that sucked.
Yeah. Well, I guess Shuri's not gonna be Black Panther, so we got that.
Eric K.
Okay, so I think you should touch on CB for sure. Talk about 42. It's a better movie. Let's see. How about something like you're looking forward to, like Black Widow movie? Maybe touch on the Orville. The Inquisition was a hit for the most part when you guys did that last week, so maybe touch on that. Those are the main things. Also, Bill and Ted, what you guys think of that? I'm not sure if Doomcock has seen it yet, but yeah.
I'll talk about it. I can talk about it enough where I won't spoil it. So, all right.
Okay.
Thanks everyone for joining. As always, thanks for being members. And I'll keep you all posted for the watch parties. Eventually, I want to do like The Expanse, like from the beginning, because it's there. Why not? So I'll let you know once I get settled here. And thanks again for all your patience. And we'll do this again next Sunday. And I'll try to mix in an Australian one. Australian hours is like 8 p.m. Pacific time, my time. And I'll try to mix in one of those during the week.
I really like those Australian streams.
Watch parties might be a really nice Patreon perk.
Fun.
It might absolutely help with The Expanse because I watched the first episode and I was a little confused. So watching it with all the members and Yu-Gi-Oh, it could actually really help me get into that.
Sure.
series.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I mean, I can fill in some of the stuff that maybe what happens is they adapt the books and there's a lot of assumptions that you're supposed to pick up that not everyone picks up, not even me. So.
It also helps if you watch The Expanse, you're starting fresh. Put a window so you could watch the first 3 episodes because those first 3 episodes really build the world of The Expanse. And if you just watch the first one, like I tried to watch The Expanse about a year ago, and the first one was so confusing to me, and then I watched it on a night where I could watch the first 3, and it was like, oh wow, this is really a trippy world, and it just sucks you into it. So.
Yep.
If you just watch the pilot, you get confused. If you can watch at a minimum the first 2 together, it makes it a lot. It'll suck you in, and you'll just be fascinated by the whole thing.
Okay, good tip.
Brilliant.
That'll definitely help.
All right. Thanks everyone, and ciao. So we're in.
Thanks, Gary.